This week on SailAway, we're on the final leg of our 1,400-mile journey from St. Thomas to Charleston. We're not fighting 10-foot waves and 25-knot winds. We don't have to do it ourselves. Not saying anything.
Apparently when it's this calm, the power tools come out.
And the cooking tools come out too.
All right, Rivers, we've been on this boat for 6 days. How do you feel? You feel crazy?
But some of our favorite friends break up the monotony. As well as a remote and chilly plunge in the middle of the Great Bahama Bank.
It's brisk. It could get a little wild out there when that second front comes off the coast,
but the conditions worsen far more than expected.
Whatever my highest point of sailing and sailing life is, in the last like 8 hours is like the exact opposite.
We were up to 32 knots of breeze and like 25-foot waves, if not bigger.
And we still have a giant weather system to dodge as we angle into the coast with continually dropping temperatures.
How you feeling? You're cold.
Really cold.
Pull out these winter clothes.
We're almost there, Zeke.
And indeed we are. As we sail into Charleston in 40-degree temperatures and finally reach our dock, it truly feels like we earned it.
Ever wish you could escape normal life and experience more of the world?
So meet me on that island. Well, we did just that. We sold everything we owned on dry land and sailed away. Promise me that we'll sail away.
Now we are roaming the planet in search of new adventures and sharing it with you every week.
Just promise me that we'll sail away. So hit subscribe and escape normal with us. And I'll be yours forevermore. Come on, it's just that little button down there. That's it.
Well, that was a much needed and well earned sleep. Sitting still, sleeping all night after 4 days of, sleeping in shifts. Yeah, the lack of motion was pretty welcome. We got to get going. Try and use every bit of wind we've got right now, and hopefully get over to the Gulf Stream. We're gonna have to motor some. There's gonna be probably a day of motoring as the wind dies and then sort of turns around. We don't want to do the Gulf Stream with any opposing wind from the north, but as it turns around, we'll go out to the Gulf Stream. Winds will slowly come around from the south. We'll take as long of a Gulf Stream run as we can get, but probably somewhere around St. Augustine parallel. The wind is another front is coming out off of the U.S. coast. So the wind will go from south to southwest, and it'll start to build, which is a good direction for us, but it starts to really build. So I think what we need to do at that point is we will kind of angle pretty hard into the coast of the U.S., and within 6 to 8 hours it'll be blowing 25 at least. And so then if we can just kind of hug the coast all the way up to Charleston, and if it gets too dicey, too crazy, then we can always duck into someplace along the coast. That's the plan. I don't know. I don't know how well that'll all work. We'll look at the weather one more time before we leave our cell service. Everybody's starting to wake up, so better get going. She's awake and ready to sail.
Changed my clothes, so that's what it takes to look ready to sail. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hi, land. Again.
We smelled you.
Alright. Back on the road again. Hopefully, next stop will be... Well, next stop, no matter what, will be closer, right? I don't know where we'll be, though. Maybe Andros, maybe Bimini, maybe Florida.
Across the uncharted Great Bahama Bank.
It's not uncharted.
A lot of notes on here that basically say Hey, we kind of charted this, but keep your eyes out.
Keep your eyes out.
Your eyes open. Keep an eye out and your eyes open. You don't want your eyes out. Ready for it? We've been waiting for you guys.
Well, we are moving and grooving. We just put up the asymmetrical. We've got pretty light air, so now we're actually moving. Got a whole bunch of energy, and I think it's because we're at the halfway point, and like I can almost see the end of the sail, almost. So I'm very excited to get it done. Before it was, you know, just felt like it was going to be forever. But now that it's only like another 4 days, I'm like, yeah, we can do this. So, yay, we can do this.
Hitting the halfway point in a long passage is a huge morale boost. Suddenly, there's a lot less distance ahead of you than there is behind you. And having a nice calm stretch at this point is perfect timing. You know you're going to have to rest up because there's no way the weather's going to stay this nice forever.
Sunset is simple and pretty today. Just an orange blob falling into the water. Morning Rivers did workout videos.
We're a little stir crazy at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting. We've had really easy motoring and sailing today, so we're like, what do we do with all our energy? We're not fighting 10-foot waves and 25-knot winds. We don't have to do it ourselves. Not saying anything. Here we are, night 6.
Yeah.
We think. Oh, and it's gone. Bloop, just like that.
Now we put on the sweatshirts.
I know, it's cold. We are going to die when we get to Charleston. Probably long before that, actually. It's going to be real freaking cold.
Apparently when it's this calm, power tools come out. What you do now?
Just trying to reinforce this thing some more. You know, it's old, it's struggling, and you know, we're motoring along in dead flat seas and blue skies. So I guess I should do some things.
I think I'll clean that up. Alright, while the men folk are out there playing with their tools, we have run out of bread. So I'm going to attempt to make some more bread. So I'm just going to make it by hand. I got a recipe and I've never used it before. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how much 1/4 of an ounce of active dry yeast is. So that's our first thing. I'm just going to go with 2 tablespoons because that's usually how much yeast I use for things.
Cooking at sea is never the easiest thing to do, so when you've got flat water, it's time to knock out some goodies.
drivers, we have been on this boat and have not gotten off of it for 6 days. How do you feel? You feel crazy? Yeah. Should we like get out your bicycle when we get to Charleston? Yeah. Yeah, Zeke! Good job, buddy. He's like, I gotta go.
With blue skies, flat water, no wind, no land in sight, and only 20 feet under the keels, there's only one thing left to do.
It's 20 feet deep right here.
Do something dramatic when you get out.
I did, I got in the water.
It's brisk. Who's that?
Here we go. We're starting to swing out toward the Gulf Stream. We gotta go a little ways. The heavy part of it is right in there. Pretty close to the edge of Florida. But then from that point, it sort of follows these ocean contours up. So we're gonna ride it kind of close to that left side, the western edge, and get as much benefit as we can out of it. Get over to the coast of Georgia and just take that offshore breeze all the way to Charleston. Should be a beam reach for most of the way, if not all the way. And we're hoping the whole thing's gonna take 2 to 2.5 days. We'll see. It could get a little wild out there when that second front comes off the coast, but keeping our fingers crossed. It's always the seas that are the worst part, and they shouldn't be too bad if we're even close. So, there's the report.
I'm coming.
So close!
Oh, they're so big.
Yeah! Oh! More! Yes! Oh! They're jumping.
Yeah.
All over the place.
One day. We've only lived on a sailboat for 4 years and haven't seen a green
At
spot.
least we got a good time.
Yeah, it's true. All right, guess I'll start on the dinner.
Yeah.
But we knew this peaceful sailing was due to run out.
Good time. Whatever my highest point of sailing and sailing life is, like this current state of the boat in the last like 8 hours is like the exact opposite, lowest. The inside just got wrecked last night. So rough. The waves slamming and tossing us around. Stuff's wet. And the one cabin that I've got with my long sleeve shirts in it got wet. So it's time to start digging through our our winter clothes bags.
Well, we are definitely no longer in the Caribbean. Officially in the Gulf Stream, and it feels like it. So about for the last 8 hours, we've had some pretty crappy weather. And right when we were making dinner last night, it kind of started to get wavy and windy, but it wasn't like too bad. And then I put Rivers to bed really early, and then by the time it was my turn to go on watch, we were up to 32 knots of breeze and like 25-foot waves, if not bigger. It was nighttime, so we were just getting tossed around, and so that basically lasted all night. It's calmed down a little bit now. We're only in like 11 knots of breeze, but the waves are still just rocking. So it's not been the most enjoyable, but we're making good time, and that's all I can focus on right now. Is I'm really ready to be there. So hopefully this means we'll be there faster. Looking like right now a day and a half till Charleston. So we can do this. Alright, here we are, morning of day 9. We are hugging the coast of Florida because there was supposed to be a big thunderstorm that is coming through. But right now it is, let's go. But right now it is just kind of gross out. Yeah, here you go. Luckily we had a pretty chill night last night, so I think everybody is rested up, especially after the night before when basically nobody got any sleep. So we're ready for this next funness, the next thing.
The big weather system coming off the U.S. coast and the shift of wind from east to south to west happened quite a bit later than predicted, which was the biggest reason why our night in the Gulf Stream was so rough. But now that it was here, it was time to angle in toward land as close as possible.
Pull out these winter clothes. Oh, some sweatpants! Last dinner?
I mean, hopefully not.
I mean, before we're on a dock. Last dinner on passage?
Yes. It's been a movie day as we sail along. We finally got our western wind shift, and now we are smoking along. And then as we kind of hook up the coast, that wind starts to shift more in our favor, so it's going to be a beam reach almost all the way to Charleston, and then kind of going into a broad reach as we get closer. Just kind of coming along. We don't get a lot of night stuff because our camera's not up to it. Thankfully, the thunderstorms that were rolling across southern part of the U.S. looked like they were maybe going to be a little violent coming out here where we are, but they were not a factor. Didn't really see any wind from it particularly.
Hopefully we'll get there like at 1 o'clock, hopefully, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Right now it's showing about 2:30, but that's at this particular speed, so it depends on what our average speed is between now and then. It's really hard to know.
And look at this.
Okay. This is exercise. This is what passes for exercise on the boat. So far, we've gotten a little wet. We've been having a little trouble getting things to dry. My gear, for some reason, everything I have is no longer waterproof, including my Fowley coat and pants. They just soak right through and I get wet. We've also gotten through the passage, knock on wood, with everybody intact, feeling good. Right now is probably the most seas we're going to have, and they're behind us. So let's hope that all that all stays consistent, and we will be very, very happy. Now back to School of Rock.
The School of Rock.
We're almost there, Zeke. This is not a good time to go take a pee on the bow. We're almost there. What did you say? Like, I think I heard you say 20 miles to the channel? Yeah. 20 miles to Charleston Harbor Channel. Still blowing like a mother. No, we're definitely not St. Thomas anymore.
44 degrees out.
Ah, it sucks. I just woke up. These guys have been doing the late shift, the 3 to 7. And man, it's not really let up the whole way, but we've been making good time. Which Chris said on his Navionics he saw a top speed of 15.7 knots. So yeah, we're moving. That's not typical. That's a burst over a wave or something. But we saw 10 and 11 and even 12 quite a bit. So far, no big mechanical issues. I mean, we had the main halyard issue a while back. Had some trouble with the port side motor. Turns out we were just low on fuel. Somehow I must not have gotten that tank completely full, or they're smaller than I thought. Either could be true or both. I'm not gonna wake up Lauren and Rivers just yet though. We got a little ways to go before we get to the channel. Oh, we're this close.
How you feeling? You're cold.
Really cold. Like, guys, if you were here, I feel like it was freezing.
This is what we're gonna feel like for the next 3 months.
We're staying there for 3 months.
Yeah, all winter.
Wow.
Well, there's a heater on the floor if you need to warm up. Yeah, come stand right here. Put your feet in front of that. Yeah.
Back to the land of freighters. We're not the only idiots out here sailing in this. Pretty wild, isn't it? Used to come in and out of these jetties all the freaking time.
Charleston dance. Are you ready to get off the boat?
Yeah, stop.
The sense of accomplishment of completing a 10-day passage offshore, combined with the nostalgia of returning to waters we called home for 5 years, made for a really nice mix of emotions. It may have been really freaking cold sailing up the channel, but the vibes were all warm.
Hey. Hey. Guess who's back? You're back.
legs wobbly?
A little bit. I guess we haven't been off at all, have we?
Are you so happy? Yeah. How's it feel? Steady ground? Good. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. That's all I know.
That was my harmony. Did you like it?
That was amazing. We should start a band.
We made it!
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, now I feel bad because now this wasn't supposed to actually be our passage drink, but, but we made it our passage.
We'll do a couple.
Yeah, at one point weren't we supposed to do a passage drink for every day we're on passage? That was a rule at one point.
Oh, yeah, once we arrive at our final destination.
Yeah.
So we've just got 9 more after this one. It's going to be an interesting spot. There's all kinds of stuff here. We got dredging going on out here. We got military vehicle carriers being pushed along by tugboats. We got an entire freighter dock up here full of containers. We'll probably see some freighters come in pretty soon. Cheers! Good job, everybody.
Good job.
That was 10 days, and some of those days sucked, but the net result did not suck.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
Didn't break too much stuff.
Nah, that was pretty good, really.
Sprinted off the line and sprinted to the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
It was in
A
between.
little bit of a lull in the middle there. I'll take that passage any day over what they can be.
Stay tuned as we begin on a long list of improvements and fixes. We've got a ton of work to do and not much time to do it before we shove off and head back to the Caribbean. Cheers!